Get in the zone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the zone. This is the Metal Zone. I'm your host, Tom. Changing the name of this channel, paying homage to my favorite distortion pedal of all time. 1991, Boss released the MT2 Metal Zone, and that forever changed my life. Lovely to see years later coming back to picking up the guitar, starting to play again. Seems there are quite a lot of haters out there for the old Boss MT2 Metal Zone, but it's one of their best-selling pedals to date. I believe they're number 2 selling pedal of all time, next to the Boss Distortion. Distortion 1, whatever it is, DS1, I forget. That pedal's weak sauce. It pales in comparison to the Metal Zone. And now we have the lovely Wazacraft Metal Zone. So, wonderful stuff. So, with that said, I'm going to be reviewing guitars, amps, speakers, cabs, pedal, gear, and as well as metal news, reviews, anything to do with metal will be covered here in the Metal Zone. Had to wear my lovely Metal Zone shirt that I was a victim of targeting advertisement on the old Facebooks. I hate to admit that fact, but it came across and I was like, oh, I think I need to have that. But it does make sense. You have a little beehive with a little yellow jacket. It does sound like a can of angry bees at times if you don't know what you're doing with the old Metal Zone. So, with that said, let's get straight into the review this evening. Tonight it's going to be the FireFly FFSP-BK-S, which stands for, I believe, Satin Black, a Les Paul style baritone guitar. And there she be, in all her matte black, lovely satin beauty. The 28-inch scale, we've got their standard stainless steel ball end frets, rosewood fingerboard, 24 frets, single humbucker in the bridge position, 1 volume knob. That's all you get, that's all you need. Trust me. I most often play with just my bridge pickup, rarely ever switch over to a neck pickup for anything. So for me, as soon as I seen that this guitar was announced and when it was dropped, I had to have it. Ordered it the day it dropped. There was a little bit of a mix-up with Guitars Garden. So if you're not familiar, these are available on Guitars Garden. Highly recommend it. I bought 4 guitars without a hitch. This just happened to be on the big day that they dropped it. I think they mixed up. There was a gloss black baritone with gold hardware and gold humbuckers. I think some people started receiving that. They realized a mistake was made, so they started recalling the shipments. So my shipment was due to be delivered on a Saturday, and then next thing you know, it shows up on my tracking that it's going to be delivered to Rhode Island. And sent a message to Guitars Garden in a little moment of panic. Had to vent on the FireFly fans Facebook group a little bit, but that assured me the guitar was coming. It was reshipped, scheduled to be here Monday the 16th. Actually showed up Saturday. UPS, thank you for coming through in the clutch, getting this into my hands early. So I've spent a couple days with it. Really planned to do a review right away, but just wanted to get a little bit of time with it, get a little bit of familiarity with the guitar and how it plays, pros, cons, all that good stuff. And I'm happy to say with this guitar, Ooh, 99.9% pros thus far. Uh, got an empty pocket here. There's nothing really in there because we don't have a toggle switch up here. Sure, that was probably just taking from some stock bodies that they had and the hole was already there. Fine. Doesn't bother me at all. The finish has been done really well on this guitar. There is some little marking up at the neck, and this is a satin matte black finish, so the more you touch it, the more your fingerprint oils get on it. It's eventually going to start glossing over in places, and you're going to lose that satin finish. That's just what happens with these style guitars. The big beast, I have an It Beast back there, completely flat topped, matte black, and over the years that has got its own little patina to it, if that's what we're going to call it. So, yeah. Straight out of the box, the neck on this was in really good shape. No need to give any relief to the truss rod. Decent action for a baritone. Not displeased with this humbucker that's in there. Maybe eventually at some point in time I'll change it out, but right now it's doing me good. I always feel that I can have an EQ in my chain and adjust that to get the sound I need regardless of whatever pickup is in any of my setups. I'm more concerned with that in a cabinet and speaker than I am a pickup. By the time I, boost, add my distortion, and I really don't see that big of a difference between pickups. Some of my guitars, some of my nicer guitars, I guess if I was push to shove, favorite pickup of all time would probably be my Dirty Fingers that's in my Alpha Q, old rare Gibson from the 80s. Not sure if any of you are familiar with that. Did a little chugging video on that. Should do a full review of that. Guitar's been through a lot. It's seen a lot. Was stolen from me, returned to me. So there's a lot of love and history with me in that particular guitar. But we're talking about this guitar. As you can see, lovely satin black finish. You can really see on here there is a black binding that goes all the way around this guitar. Of course, we do have some fret indicator dots on the side of the neck, on the top of the side of the neck, but no fret indicators on the neck itself, which may drive some of your bandmates crazy if they can't see where your fingers are at. They don't have a point of reference. So, something to consider when you're looking at these. Strings, a lot of people in the past have complained about FireFly strings. It looks like they're using D'Addarios. Not sure. If we look in the rear of that bridge, we can see the telltale sign of those color-coded ball ends, which are typical of D'Addario strings. I'm pretty frugal, so every one of these guitars I've gotten, I just try to beat the hell out of these strings and get as much life out of them as I can before I change them. And then condition the fretboard, because these rosewood fretboards tend to come dry. This one in particular doesn't look as dry as the other FireFlies that I have gotten in the past. So, really nice. The access cut on this is just absolutely perfect. For getting high up there on the neck and access, it's the best of all the guitars I've got next to the It Beast. Period. Love that access cut. Comfort cut on the back is nice. Hey, you got a stash box here. You want to snore a little something special in there for after the show or to get you going? You got it right there. We'll just leave that at that. But matte black finish on the back. We do have a little volute on the back of this headstock. The tuning keys on this, just plain black, but these have been the best tuning keys I've seen to date on a FireFly guitar. They don't slip, they turn smoothly, and they pick up and catch. Whereas the XP, there's some slippage on those tuning keys. Definitely need to change those out. We'll probably definitely change the ones out on the SG style baritone. So I'm going to get to that and review that as well. Buckethead has the locking style. They seem to do well. They don't slip, but they do feel a little crunchy when you're turning them. So eventually those will probably need to be swapped out as well too. So with that said, I really can't complain much at all about this guitar. The only issue that I can see that I'm going to need to do is polish these frets, because there are some really scratchy frets on here. In fact, this is the scratchiest fretwork I've seen from a FireFly guitar. But other than that, she's doing well. Holds tune, seems to be intonated right out of the box. No buzzing frets that I have found anywhere on this fretboard, so that's good. And it's just metalled out, matte black, single humbucker in the bridge position, one volume tone. Man, that's all you need to throw some heavy distortion right in somebody's face. Absolutely fantastic. So my hat's off to you. Thank you, FireFly, for producing this, giving us metal guys, doom guys, a nice platform to work with here. Even if you want to mod it in the future, change out this pickup, may do it, may not, don't know. Spending some time getting familiar with this guitar at this moment. So with that said, not gonna try to bore you guys or go too long. I mean, you can obviously see what you're dealing with here. Really nice looking guitar, plays well, feels well in the hand. Even with a 28-inch scale, really no neck dive. The SG has a little bit, but it's not bad at all. I don't mind the SG at all. Once you got a strap on and your arm's in place and you're playing, I have no issues with it, so I could deal with it. Hope you guys enjoy this. I am going to cut from here, plug this in, give you guys a little sample of what she sounds like, what you're dealing with. If you like this, give me a subscribe, give me a like, leave me a comment. I got more of these to review, more things to review. Some pedals, the head I'm using right now, we'll get to that. The speaker that I put in my vintage 65 Sonic cab. And hope you guys enjoy this. And I'm going to keep plugging away at these, so